What's up everybody, and thank you for joining me for another video. My name is Whack4863, but you can call me Whack. In today's video, I'm actually playing on the PlayStation 5, and the reason being is because all the consoles got an update for Conan Exiles. So we're gonna go through that update, even though I've covered this in previous videos, and you can go back and watch those videos. I'll put the links to those in the description of this video. But the consoles did finally get the parity patch, so both PC and console are running on the exact same version of the game. Now this is very exciting for me because it means that all the guides that I publish at this point are actually all going to be relevant for every single platform that you could play Conan Exiles on. Now I hope that this continues and that we see a parity patches very quickly after the PC patch, or even at the same time. That would be the best case scenario. Now this is a big update for consoles because this actually introduces a lot of things that have not been on console yet, like the ability to display weapons on your back, or the brand new black ice weapons. Those are also in the game today. Additionally, you have the new archetype, the dual axes, and the punching daggers. Those have all been added into the game for console players to enjoy. Now before I get too deep into the really cool features that have been added to the game, I do want to cover something as a PSA. Absolutely do not use the Orb of Nurgle. Once you get in there, you are stuck in there. You cannot change your character at all. You cannot exit out of this menu. It completely sticks you in there. There's got to be some issue with the key bindings in order to be able to actually use and interact with this. The only way to exit out of the Orb of Nurgle is to actually go and force the game to close. There is no possible way for you to exit in the game, so you will have to go to your dashboard and close this application should you interact with it. So my advice is to totally ignore the Orb of Nurgle. Do not interact with it until you get a future update. And I did test that on both PS5 and PS4 to see if it was working differently on either one. I think that the controller inputs just aren't working for the Orb of Nurgle. That bench is just messed up, so stay away from it, like I said. Now I did cover this in its own specific video, but this bug did make it into the console edition of the game. So if you didn't watch that video, basically what you're able to do is get legendary weapons absolutely free. So you can go to any of the legendary chests like I'm doing now, just walk up and press the loot all button and you are going to get that legendary out of the chest. This requires absolutely no keys, so essentially you could go and kill those legendary monsters, stack up your keys, and interact with that chest with the loot all button, and you'd be able to get that legendary now and save a key for later. Something that you may have noticed while I was riding the elevator up is there's a render issue or a visual bug in the PlayStation edition of the game. I'm not sure if this is on Xbox as well because I don't have Xbox to test on. But as you can see, anything that's a decent distance away is blinding white, and you can see that from very, very far away. This has been reported on the forums already, and I'm sure this will be in the next hotfix. But there's some great things going on with this update. One of those things is in the crafting. There's some great quality of life going on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick something to craft here. Let's make some chilled Godbreaker boots. No, I want regular Godbreaker boots. But as you can see, I don't have the padding or the rusted boots crafted to make those boots. So what it's actually going to do when I click this is it's actually going to craft not only the padding because I have those resources in the bench, but it's also going to craft the actual rusted boots as an ingredient for me to make the Godbreaker boots. So that's really nice. You don't have to go through and craft the padding and then craft the boots and then craft the boots again. It's actually going to chain all those actions together in one chain if you have all the resources in the bench. And you'll be able to see what items it'll craft in your bench if you don't have them crafted by the gear icon icon that is located on the recipe. There's also a bunch of weapons that got reworks, and I've done a video on those weapons, so you can check that out. It's in the description of this video. But great axes, katanas, and then claw weapons and punching daggers. Punching daggers is something that is kind of a new archetype. It's a new type of weapon, really. They've been in the game, but they've had the dagger animation, and now they have a totally new animation. So those are kind of the main areas that got big overhauls, but additionally there were some passes to different stamina uses on light and heavy attacks for pikes. There is more hyper armor, or a bit more hyper armor with the light attack chain on the two-handed swords, which is nice. Additionally, a lot of the crafting for, say, like potions and wraps, that's all been reduced. It actually happens really fast now, so it's nice because you're not waiting around forever in order to get those things crafted. Bleed got a huge overhaul, so let's talk about this. If you are putting bleed on something, you're putting those status effects on there, you'll notice that it actually only lasts for 8 seconds if you don't refresh it. So you do need to refresh it more often. It does still stack to the 20 total stacks, but you are needing to apply that bleed more and more often. Another big change to bleed is that healing potions no longer remove bleed effects. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't heal through the bleed with a healing potion. That's totally possible, but those bleed effects are still going to stay on there. The only way to remove those bleed effects is to, 1, either just let them wear off, or 2, use a wrap in order to stop those bleed effects. Now, you can heal through the bleed, like I said. However, if you take any other damage that is non-bleed while you're healing from a potion, those effects of the healing potion will stop at that point. Server transfers are in full effect, and I can't remember whether it came with this patch or a previous patch. You guys may have had server transfers before this point, but it is totally possible to transfer servers, and I've got a video outlining the entire server transfer process should you want more information on that. Zath has been introduced finally to the Isle of Siptah, and you can get that from Tier 3 and Tier 4 Zath priests during a surge that you summon. There are some new settings for health bars, and that's going to be under your gameplay settings tab. As you can see from the video, I have the numbers on my health bar, my stamina bar, and then I also have numbers on my thrall's health bar and the NPC that I'm fighting against. These are all things that are in the game now, and you can go to your settings, go to gameplay, and then you'll be able to find those options at the bottom of that page. And this is a great addition for those of you that play on official servers, or for console players in general, because console players don't have access to mods which would add this feature. So I really like this feature, and I want to see more like this from Funcom in the future, where they add quality of life things that make a huge difference to console players. And I'm going to mention this real quick, a couple of things that I did not find in the patch notes. 1, nudity or full nudity is fixed on the server side now. So if you have a disc or you're in a region that allows you to have that, it is now fixed on the server side. So you should be able to change that setting at any point in time and see full glorious nudity. Additionally, there's been a few weapons that have received new skins, or new icons really. So if you are looking for your Misha's Bite or the daggers of 1,000 bites, I even have a set of daggers on the Isle of Siptah. All of these now have a new skin. I'm not sure if that's a bug or if that's intended, but I have noticed quite a few of the dagger weapons having new icons and new skins, and there is no mention about it in any of the patch notes that I've read. Now I am going to wrap this video up here because I already feel like I'm just reiterating stuff that I've gone over in other videos, and if I continue on, I'm just going to feel that even harder. So like I said, there's a bunch of videos in the description of this video that cover everything that's kind of gone on with these patches, so definitely check those out if you're on console and you're not sure what has changed in the game. Now I want to know in the comment section below, whether I covered the change or not, what are you most excited about from this recent update? That's what I want to hear from you. The whack moments in this video were sponsored by my legendary supporters. Thank you very much. If you'd like to become a member, you can click the button below that says join. That'll give you all the details. I'd like to thank all my subscribers for their continued support, likes, comments, and general awesomeness. If you're not a subscriber, you can start your free trial today and cancel at any time. Clicking the bell is highly recommended so you get notified when I upload another video. Now, if you're not done watching, there's 2 videos on the screen. You could pick one of those to watch next. I hope you've enjoyed this video as much as I've enjoyed making it. I'll catch you next time. Peace.